The alarms don't sound when a global crisis begins. They whisper. An oil tanker slows down. A naval patrol changes course. Insurance premiums spike overnight. And right now in one narrow stretch of water, the Strait of Hormuz. All three are happening at once. No missiles fired, no full-scale war declared. But the world's most critical maritime choke point is tightening, and if it closes, even briefly, the global economy doesn't just suffer, it convulses. Roughly a fifth of the world's global oil supply passes through this single corridor. Every day, dozens of oil tanker routes move through it, linking Middle Eastern producers to global markets. This is not just a trade route, it is the central artery of modern energy security. Now that artery is under pressure. Escalating geopolitical tensions in the region have triggered increased drone surveillance, aggressive naval maneuvers, and shadowy intelligence operations. Multiple powers are watching, some are preparing, because the moment this waterway becomes unstable, everything changes. The first signs are subtle. A tanker reroutes, another delays entry. Shipping firms raise prices due to rising shipping insurance spike risks. This is how a crisis begins. Not with explosions, but with hesitation. Then comes escalation. A regional confrontation intensifies, navies deploy, warnings are issued, a near-miss incident occurs, now the situation crosses into naval escalation, one miscalculation, and it turns into a naval blockade. That's the tipping point. Because blocking this strait doesn't just impact one country, it disrupts the entire system of international shipping lanes. This is not random instability, it is structured pressure. At the center lies a complex web of Iran-US tensions, intertwined with broader Gulf security dynamics. Each actor is pursuing leverage. For Iran, control over the strait represents geostrategic control, a way to counterbalance economic sanctions and assert influence. For the United States and its allies, maintaining open passage is non-negotiable. It underpins global trade, military positioning, and alliance credibility. This creates a classic diplomatic standoff. Neither side wants full war, but both are prepared to escalate. The Strait of Hormuz is narrow, just a few dozen kilometers wide at its tightest point, but its importance is disproportionate because global energy systems are built on oil dependency. Major economies rely on uninterrupted energy exports from the Gulf. Disrupt that flow, and you trigger a supply shock. Not gradual, immediate. Prices surge within hours. Markets react within minutes. This is where the crisis escalation ladder becomes critical. Each step increases both risk and consequence. Step 1. Increase surveillance and warnings. Step 2. Harassment of vessels. Step 3. Limited strikes or seizures. Step 4. Partial disruption of shipping. Step 5. Full-scale naval blockade. We are no longer at Step 1. Recent developments suggest movement between Steps 2 and 3. That's the danger zone. Because escalation here is nonlinear, it accelerates. Let's map the chain clearly. A confrontation in the Gulf intensifies. Military assets are deployed. A vessel is targeted or seized. Coalition forces respond. The region militarizes further. Now you have active military buildup. Increased missile threats. Heightened risk of asymmetric warfare. This isn't conventional war, it's fragmented, unpredictable, and extremely difficult to contain. Every move in this region serves a purpose. Iran leverages the threat of disruption as a strategic tool, not necessarily to close the strait permanently, but to remind the world it can. This is economic warfare by geography. Meanwhile, Western powers and regional allies deploy coalition forces to ensure flow continuity. Their objective is deterrence, maintaining military deterrence without triggering direct conflict, but deterrence has limits. Push too far, and it collapses. If disruption occurs even briefly, the consequences cascade globally. First, oil price volatility explodes, and second, energy costs drive global inflation upward. Third, manufacturing slows due to rising input costs. Then financial markets react. We see sudden global markets instability, investor panic, rapid capital shifts. Central banks are forced into reactive policies, but monetary tools cannot fix supply-side shocks. That's the core vulnerability. Organizations like OPEC Dynamics attempt to stabilize output, but their ability to compensate is limited. You cannot instantly replace millions of barrels per day, especially not when the disruption is physical, when ships simply cannot pass. This is not a pricing issue, it is a flow issue, and flow is everything. Beyond visible military moves, a silent conflict unfolds. Sanctions evasion networks expand. Digital systems face probing through intelligence operations. Trade routes shift quietly to avoid detection or restriction. This is hybrid warfare. No clear battlefield, but constant pressure, and it compounds instability. Right now, the strait is still open, but the margin for error is shrinking. Each passing day brings more naval presence, higher insurance costs, increased political tension. The system is functioning, but under strain, like a machine operating beyond safe limits. The trajectory from here splits into 3 paths. 1. De-escalation. Diplomacy stabilizes the situation. Shipping continues, markets calm, temporarily. 2. Controlled disruption. Intermittent incidents disrupt flow. Prices spike unpredictably. Global uncertainty increases. 3. Full closure scenario. The strait becomes impassable. A true global recession trigger is activated. This third scenario is rare but not impossible, and the system is not built to absorb it. At the beginning, we saw small signals, rerouted ships, rising costs, silent tension. Those were not anomalies, they were early warnings, because the Strait of Hormuz is not just a location, it is a pressure valve for the global economy. And right now, that valve is tightening. The next global crisis may not start with a war declaration. It may start with a single blocked passage. Subscribe for precise breakdowns of global power and economic risk. Like this video to push real analysis over noise. Share it, because when this crisis hits, everyone will feel it.